Coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and/or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021. Buy your XTIM now while the price is still at its lowest. It may never be this low ever again. We are building the first African consolidated platform. XTIM coin, rewriting the African story. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African Consolidated Exchange, known as Acex, that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and/or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021. Buy your XTIM now while the price is still at its lowest. It may never be this low ever again. We are building the first African consolidated platform. XTIM coin, rewriting the African story. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African Consolidated Exchange, known as Acex, that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and/or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021. Buy your XTIM now while the price is still at its lowest. It may never be this low ever again. We are building the first African consolidated platform. XTIM coin, rewriting the African story. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African Consolidated Exchange, known as Acex, that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction known as and staking within the platform, synthetically enabling governments, exchanges, private institutions across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and this crypto exchanges and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin. It will serve as one of the common means of staking and or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021. Buy your XTIM now while the price is still at its lowest. It may never be this low ever again. We are building the first African consolidated platform. XTIM coin, rewriting the African story. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African consolidated exchange known as Acex that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021. Buy your XTIM now while the price is still at its lowest. It may never be this low ever again. We are building the first African consolidated platform. XTIM coin, rewriting the African story. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African consolidated exchange known as Acex that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021. Buy your XTIM now while the price is still at its lowest. It may never be this low ever again. We are building the first African consolidated platform. XTIM coin, rewriting the African story. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African consolidated exchange known as Acex that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin
Fantastic.
commodities exchanges
the
across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players.
We have developed in the background, and I look forward for a glorious presentation today. I think we're waiting for Boira to give us a go ahead, and we can get started.
Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African consolidated exchange known as Acex that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021. Buy your XTIM now while the price is still at its lowest. It may never be this low ever again. We are building the first African consolidated platform. XTIM coin, rewriting the African story. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African consolidated exchange known as Acex that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021. Buy your XTIM now while the price is still at its lowest. It may never be this low ever again. We are building the first African consolidated platform. XTIM coin, rewriting the African story. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African consolidated exchange known as Acex that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and/or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021. Buy your XTIM now while the price is still at its lowest. It may never be this low ever again. We are building the first African consolidated platform. XTIM coin, rewriting the African story. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African Consolidated Exchange, known as Acex, that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and/or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021. Buy your XTIM now while the price is still at its lowest. It may never be this low ever again. We are building the first African consolidated platform. XTIM coin, rewriting the African story. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African Consolidated Exchange, known as Acex, that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and/or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange. Never before did you ever think you'd have one platform where you could trade the African stock market, exotic African currencies, commodities, forex, and cryptocurrencies. Well, we're developing the first ever Pan-African Consolidated Exchange, known as Acex, that will be synthetically indexed to stock exchanges, commodities exchanges across the African continent, the African currency markets and global forex markets, and crypto exchanges. Through the XTIM coin, Acex will acquire additional liquidity through traders, escrow players, and passive investors. How? Well, the XTIM coin will be the backbone for African Consolidated Exchange. It will serve as one of the common means of exchange and the circulating medium in terms of transaction fees and staking within the platform, enabling governments, private institutions, and individuals to trade, invest, and be escrow players. This presents a proper and authentic opportunity to massively increase the intrinsic value of the XTIM for the holders of the coin, and especially for those that will be staking and or trading on this 21st century electronic exchange platform. What does this mean for you? Invest in XTIM coin through our private sale, which kicked off on the 26th of June 2021.
Like to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you into this webinar tonight, where we are going to provide to you the progress that has been made, that we've made in the last couple of months or 3 months, and the direction that the organization is going to take. We have most of our directors tuned in for tonight's webinar. But before we progress and say much today, it is important to commit this session into the hands of the Lord, because God helps us to do everything. You cannot do nothing without God. The breath that we have belongs to God, and it's a favor. So I would like us to take this chance, this opportunity, to just give thanks and open the meeting officially with a word of prayer. So wherever you are, kindly join me in saying a word of prayer. Heavenly God, Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, we are indeed very grateful for keeping us safe and secure until we have gotten into this day that you have made, a day that you've caused to happen, a day that we prayed and put aside, and we asked you to help us to get here. And you are faithful, and you've answered our prayers. And here we are today, oh God, and we are alive in this meeting and hoping to hear what you have brought, what you put, things that you have done, what you have helped this company to achieve this far. Ebenezer, indeed, you have been. We put our lives and everything into your hands, and we ask you to guide us and help us, even as we interact today, even as we get the briefing and the development and progress that has been made. We are grateful. We thank you and we worship you. In Jesus' name, we do pray, believing and trusting. Amen. Amen. So today, I will not have a lot to say. I will not have a lot to put across, because indeed we have our president, Ian Bula, in the house today. And he's the one who is going to provide us with an update of the progressive update of what has been happening, where have we come from, where are we now, and where are we going. And ladies and gentlemen, I have received a lot of questions as your CEO. I've interacted quite a number of you, and you've asked me a lot of questions. And tonight, some of those questions are also going to get addressed and get answers. So stay tuned, be patient, because we will ensure that we are as interactive as possible with what you have put across and the question that you've asked. As I said, we are only on YouTube today. that is the channel. So you can share widely, share that link with all our members wherever they are, so that we can have as many of you log in to get the progressive update from the president as much as possible. So without further ado, Ian Mbula, our president, if you can hear me, welcome, sir. I would like to pass the meeting over to you. Thank you very much.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you, sir.
And how are you? Thank you so much.
I'm fantastic. I thank God.
Glorious day. What a glorious day the Lord has made for us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the prayer. And the Lord is still on the throne. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's webinar. We are broadcasting this webinar today via YouTube only. And perhaps that's the way it's going to be going forward. I know a lot of people have not gotten accustomed to just going to YouTube, but I guess everyone has YouTube on their phones. As long as you've got an Android and an Apple device, you will definitely have YouTube on your device. So it's an adjustment, a change that we all need to somehow get used to going forward. We want to appeal to a greater audience. Not only that, when the program is over, when we're done with it, we now don't have to send the link again, all over again to, it's inefficient. This one is an efficient system. The whole webinar will be on YouTube. So you can just go back and review. And those of you that are working different times and different time zones, you will find the recording on YouTube. And so you don't have to go back and forth looking for the link. Needless to say, our community has grown tremendously. I think we are nudging well over 40,000. I think we have over 20 or 19,000 or so in the Temcoin Telegram group. There's about 13,000 or so in the Acex Global Telegram group. And then the verified members also a good number of thousands there. And from all the other different platforms, I think we do nudge close to 40,000. We haven't clocked that mark yet, but I think we will soon be nudging well over 40,000. And so Zoom is no longer the efficient channel to use going forward, because we're an ever-growing business. And we are going to grow massive now that we've gotten a number of our projects running. I do anticipate that this time next year, we will clock of 1 million members. Why? Because the Acex is a very unique platform, and many people are coming to trade with us there for various strategic and for various reasons. Anyway, so thank you so much for attending this webinar. I thank you for that. At the last Zoom meeting we had, we said we were going to send a survey to ask how best to communicate with you. As you've seen, even the communication is going to continue on email and Telegram. That's because we want to reach out to a lot more people. Of course, the good old-fashioned WhatsApp, SMS, telephone calls, and all that we can use, we're going to apply that. The only medium of communication that we might not use is the post office at this juncture. It might get to you a little bit late, but we'll try and use all these modern mediums, especially email, Telegram, so that we can reach out to a lot more people going forward. And if you are familiar on how YouTube works, I would suggest that right now you go and hit the subscribe button so that you are able to get the notifications once we go live, because we will be promoting on a day-to-day basis all kinds of webinars, short ones and long ones, to show people the various applications in the Acex and in our Temcoin platform, including all the other platforms, as a matter of fact. So it's important that if you're not one of those people that are not used to YouTube, that you just familiarize yourself with YouTube. It's a straightforward application. In fact, it's far better than Zoom as far as I'm concerned. So please do try your best and do that. And then perhaps in future, we're also going to add Facebook. It's just not here today, but we're going to add Facebook, Instagram, and all the other applications so that we can reach out to as many folks as possible. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to give you some good news. Over the last few weeks, ever since we met, we have been fortunate enough to have completed our project, and I'm going to share with you just briefly in this webinar. We're going to share the details in the next webinar, but we have finally gotten our version 2 of the Acex. As you know, we launched on the 17th of December 2021, but the first version wasn't working properly. We weren't happy with a good number of features, including, it didn't have a good referral marketing system embedded in it. And so we had to go back to the laboratory and come up with the platform that I believe is now going to take us to a whole new realm of operation. So the Acex is ready. I think we're going to be going live this week, perhaps on Wednesday. And as we meet again next Sunday or so, we should be presenting a live platform to you. And that starts a whole new journey of excitement and excellent delivery. And what else can I say? Of excellent revenues for those of you that are our investors. And those of you that have not yet participated in our products and programs as an investor, this is where you start with the Acex. Now, the Acex, again, for those of you that are completely brand new to our systems, Acex basically stands for the African Consolidated Exchange. It is consolidated in the sense that we going to have the crypto aspect of the trading, of our platform, on the system. Then we're also going to have Forex there, Forex trading. We also are going to have the African exotic currencies traded there. We're going to have commodities, African commodities traded on the platform, and we're going to have the African indices synthetically indexed, in other words, mirrored onto our platform. And so those of you that are traders, not just day traders, but those of you that know how to trade the financial markets and have been making money from the financial markets, this is exciting. The opportunities are huge, and this is homegrown, and you will enjoy a fantastic platform that has been developed by our very own. Now, that is about the Acex. Now, apart from that, the Acex also has staking pools. Those of you that were with us in the old top earners program that we have been migrated to the Acex, we have staking pools there. If you had a top earners account, those accounts or the stakings that we had in top earners, we are not going to create any other. The ones that people are now going to start opening new accounts to stake on those programs, they have a different offering and a complete different set of terms and conditions. Needless to say, the ones that we migrated from top earners market platforms to the Acex, they too have adjusted terms and conditions, which are meant to advantage our members, our investors. I know there is a misconception that it is a disadvantage. Actually, it's a great advantage. And that can only be proven once the Acex goes live, trading commences, and over a period of time, people will be able to identify and agree with me that yes, the advantages were many, including that which I've been saying for a very long time, that you have various forms of exit, as opposed to the old system where you only could exit through an admin approval. This one you can exit through merchants. You can exit through, of course, admin, and we have our own Acex Visa card that you can use for exit. And once that application has been connected together, it will be a straightforward thing. And in fact, talking about the cards, if you haven't gotten a card yet, the Acex card, I would encourage you to get one. It is serious convenience. Relying on just admin withdrawal is going to be a bit of an inconvenience, and you're just going to get yourself queued up because of many accounts that we have. As you've heard, there are thousands of accounts. So the most efficient way, of course, will be through merchants. We've got, I think, well over 200 merchants that are listed with us that have been vetted. I think the next most convenient way to access funds and to make withdrawals would definitely be through our Visa card program. And there is also another application that we've been discussing with the developer in the recent times. We haven't just tied up the loose ends, but once we tie up those loose ends, there will also be another application that we're going to include on the exchange that is another avenue of exit. So that's great. That's great news, and I do encourage those again that have not obtained the cards to put a purchase. It's not even that expensive. So this is how the platform looks like. If I can just scroll downwards, it's nice, neat, and tidy. As I've said, next week we are going to be sharing the live. This one is just on a PDF, but we are going to be sharing the live application itself and perhaps do a few demonstrations there. So exciting times. In future, we're definitely going to have NFTs and so on and so forth. So as we start this week, we're only going to start with a crypto application to it. We have, in fact, fantastic programs that are coming there. We have a television show that is coming, that is coming soon, and you need to look out for that television show. That television show will be in East Africa, but I think we are going to be beaming through YouTube and all the other applications as well. So I do encourage everybody to participate. This is exciting. I'm excited to see version 2 now coming to you, the public, and for use to generate serious revenue. And I thank you so much for your patience. Now, we've had so many delays. We didn't intend to start out like that at all. When we started on this journey last year. As a matter of fact, I personally thought we would have gotten everything running in 3 months. Lo and behold, I was somehow wrong. because the earlier developers took forever to get that first application running properly for us. And so we ended up getting to where we are right now, not because it was designed like that, but just circumstances beyond our control. Circumstances beyond our control got us to a point where, we've had all these delays. But delay is not denial of getting started. And delay doesn't necessarily mean you're never going to do it. As a matter of fact, some things happen for a reason that only God can know. But the one thing that I can tell you, members, is that with all these delays, with all this that has happened, we are still a very solvent business. We're very solid. We are still in business. The other day, we were counting the number of applications and programs similar to us that have gone under. Over the same period, we've been in business. We've been in business, this TE Markets brand, for a little over 2.5 years, close to 3 years. We counted, I think, 22 of them that have come and gone. We are here. We are here, first of all, because the Lord has ordered our steps. He's behind us. We always praise him in front of you, the great assembly. And so he's a faithful God. He's never going to let us down. He says he will always be with us, and he's never going to forsake us. So we've seen so many programs just shut down, and some of them, you know them yourselves. But we are here. And so the delay is not denial. The delay doesn't mean that we're not going to do it. This is when we've gotten our application running, and it's running properly. This week is going live. Now, that's exciting news, okay, because it's a contributing factor to our whole offering. The Acex is our flagship project, all right, and so is the XTIM coin. But we have other projects within our group. For example, we have the real estate business, the TE Properties business, that is doing well so far. And as far as I'm concerned, I think we're going to deliver on time by June. We should be able to deliver, and that has gone well. It's a program that just started less than 6 months ago. But the engineering, of course, started way before we had announced the pre-sale of our XTIM coin, because that is one of the use cases that we present in the XTIM coin. But the point is, the TE Properties program, fantastic. We are going to deliver. Those of you that staked on TE Properties, look out for a good dividend coming soon. I'm just so excited to actually see a project that the Lord put on our hearts. You started out on a piece of paper, and to actually see it materialize, to actually see the Acex materialize, what a fantastic thing! What a fantastic feeling to have. So that is the TE Properties, the mining project that we have, the Red Planet Resources project. That too is about to go into production. We've actually also had a delay there, but maybe the delay was also to our advantage. But we are going into production soon, and so is our TE Global Payment Solutions program, which is the Acex card. That one is already running. We've got a good number of hundreds of clients that have already subscribed for the cards, and we are going to open a staking on the Acex, and I would encourage you to invest in our Acex card, because that's a big one. That's a big one. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just pull up a PowerPoint presentation here. this is a bit of a snippet of what we shared with you last time, which we just removed a few slides. Now, this is just for the purpose of reminding us. As you know, from the survey that we did, we had a majority of the people tell us that they are going to continue with our programs. But I'm here to address both parties, the parties that are going to continue with our programs in the Acex, and those that want to exit, because I have been getting quite a number of questions regarding those that want to continue. How can they continue? And of course, you have those that want to exit. So we just want to address those today, and including those that, if you know, those folks that are looking forward to the opportunities in the Acex. For you folks that want to continue with opportunities in the Acex, of course, I have mentioned a few of those right now, but I would appeal to you to wait for us to go live this week. In the next webinar, we will be sharing how you can participate in those opportunities on the Acex. And so that is where that's what we're going to be discussing. Now, to address I'd rather go to address the issue of dividends, first of all, because that is a hot one. A lot of people want to know, but when are dividends going to get paid? I just want to make clarity again. Ladies and gentlemen, dividends are paid when activities of a company project have delivered revenue. And to be clear, when those activities have delivered a profit, the directors sit down and declare a dividend. Those of you that were our members in the Top Earners Africa program already understand how the dividend structure worked, because when we started, for example, in Top Earners Africa, we used to declare those little dividends on a weekly basis because it was a small project. And then we extended it to every fortnight. And, you know, every week, basically what happened is what we generated, or over the fortnight, what we generated would then compute that and then declare a portion of the profits that have been generated to our members. And then, of course, we would retain some of the profits. Some of them would carry them over to the following week. So that, you know, gave us that consistency and continuity. And so the members of Top Earners Africa understood how it worked, and they were comfortable, you know, receiving those dividends. And that's how this new system is going to work. The dividends will be declared, you know, first of all, on a monthly basis. But where we are at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we are still with the rain effect. In fact, over the last few weeks since we met, we haven't even paid the rain effect. The reason is that we've been busy trying to put the flagship project on track. But now that we've put it on, we're going to put that project on track. We're going to continue with the rain effect. And I guess over the several weeks, the next several weeks, everyone will start receiving some kind of raindrops or dividends coming to them. Now, the thing is this that I also need to make clear is that, you see, the dividends that we to pay in terms of to our old members, the dividends will come from the activities of all our projects. All right. In other words, if I can go back to this slide that I shared last time, you know, the dividends basically will be it's a tokenized asset, you know, that takes a portion of the company's earnings from the various projects that we are going to or that are running in our group of companies. Now, that portion is then distributed to you, the members. Of course, as we now get, for example, the TE Properties project deliver dividends, those who staked on TE Properties, they will get the bulk of the share. A portion of that will, of course, be distributed to the odd top earners members. And so that is what is similarly going to happen when Red Planet goes into production. What is produced is going to be paid to those people who have staked on Red Planet. And then a smaller portion of that is then sent to pay the old top earners members, basically in the Acex liquidity pools. And so, in the same fashion, whatever is generated in the Acex as a revenue, a portion of that, not all of it, but a portion of that is then distributed to the old top earners members or the Acex liquidity pools. And so that is the format, or that is how it is actually going to be done. And so over a period of time, as all these activities, of course, I have not mentioned TE Capital, the TEM coin, the Acex card, and all the other projects. Needless to say, we are also going to have all these other different revenue streams coming from people that are coming to raise capital on the exchange. Now, that income, a portion of it is what is going to be distributed to the Acex liquidity pools that we're going to have on our exchange. And those Acex liquidity pools, the first ones, of course, they comprise of the old top earners members, but later on we are going to have the new Acex liquidity pools that will have a different offering, but priority in the beginning, in terms of the rain effect, will always go to the old top earners members. So I just wanted to make that clear. I'm answering direct questions that were asked to, the questions that were sent earlier on, so that I can just bring clarity on that. Although we have discussed this before, I just wanted to bring clarity to that. Okay, so just going back to that, so we are still going to continue with the rain effect going forward. And of course, we are going to stick to the system that the late accounts, those accounts that never received any ROI or dividends in the old system, we're starting with those in the spirit of fair play. And then we're going to go to everybody else. We've got many accounts. We are a very committed company, and I'm sure at some point, everyone is going to receive their dividends, and the rain effect is going to disappear. And yes, I did mention last time that we have accounts in the old top earners system that came to an expiration date where they had expired, and we said that we are going to continue with those contracts. We're going to extend the tenure of those contracts by another 6 months. In any case, in the new terms and conditions, the old top earners accounts or stakings will continue in perpetuity. But once a member closes that account, they can't open it again on, in those liquidity pools, but they can open an account in the new liquidity pools, which are going to have a lower dividend paid to the members. So that is going to continue. But then you also have those that want to exit. Those that want to exit is simple. Once that functionality has been made available on the exchange, of course, it's not going to be made available on the day we go live, but when we make it go, once we make it available, that functionality, maybe in a week, with 2 weeks time or so, the one way to exit will be to place a limit order, and another way to exit will be through the merchants that are verified, that are going to be listed on our exchange, and we're going to make that demonstration in the next I was going to say Zoom call, in the next webinar, which again will be through YouTube. We're going to demonstrate that, and of course there will be videos produced that you can watch to understand how you can exit, how you can place a limit order transaction to be able to get your value in a different currency and then be able to exit, or how you can exit through a merchant. And so we're going to demonstrate that. But of course, there are those who also said, hey, you know what, they just want to sell a portion of their value in the excess liquidity pool and keep another portion running for continuity. Again, we're all going to show you how to do that in the next webinar. And of course, there will be videos that we're going to post that you can follow, simple steps. Anyone can do it. I mean, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Let me not go there, but you understand what I mean. So anyone can do it. It's not even complicated, but it does look complicated when you have never traded before. You look at a screen with charts and candlesticks and all that. You just need to ignore that and focus on what the videos are going to show you, and you'll be able to exit from there and be able to get value and walk away. So we're going to show you how to do that, and that application is it was designed not just to advantage the Acex members in terms of exit and whatnot. That is also a fantastic value proposition that we have for people that are coming to trade and invest on our exchange. That we've discussed. Ladies and gentlemen, as you remember in the last webinar, we presented to you that these are our projects, apart from the flagship project that I just mentioned, the Acex. These are the project values that we presented to you. And I'd like you to keep note that, our project, the entire project, now I'm talking about TE markets, it has been well structured. Okay, as you can see, the project value of Red Planet Resources is $1.7 million. That's the total project cost of the first phase. But just that first phase is going to give us excellent revenues going forward, dependable revenues going forward. And I truly believe that those of you that are going to be staking on Red Planet Resources are going to be reaping good dividends from that project for a very long time to come. And so is TE Capital. The total project value going forward when we open the staking is $1.2 million. TE Properties, I think we raised $2.7 million, and I think the projects that we're running there already are going to deliver in the region of $4.2 million. That's excellent. For a project that is that brand new, that's excellent. The TE Global Payment Solution, that's the SS card, the total project value is $1.3 million. We've already done good sales for a new project to do so many hundreds of cards. It's excellent. And we're going to grow from there. Our target is to hit 2 million users in the next few months to come. It's not going to be easy, but we have good partnerships with good active players in the market all across the continent and beyond into Asia. And so we do believe that we're going to hit those numbers, in a very short period. And so is the Acex itself. The project value is $25 million. And I think the value of our entire company has grown tremendously because of the projects that we put in our white paper. And I'm here to also announce that all these projects that we put in the white paper, apart from the TE micro funding project, which we want to change and have a better offering there. What I want to say here is all these projects that you see here, they are all now all functioning in one way or another. The Red Planet Resources hasn't gone into production, but it is a solvent business in the sense that we already acquired the equipment, and we have a good solid agreement with our partners on the ground. And once we go into production in a matter of months from now, we're going to be seeing good revenues coming from there. So all these projects that we mentioned in our white paper, we've managed to deliver on them. Okay, now that's good. That's good because remember what I said just a few moments ago. You have so many programs and projects that have been presented to you over the last 3 years. Some of them, they've just disappeared. You've never heard from them again. We are here and we're here to stay. And all these projects that we said we were going to do, we've done them. And it's now just a question of finalization and the delivery of dividends. And delivery of dividends, as we now start generating serious revenues, we are going to get to a point where we are declaring the dividends in a very regular manner, and our members are going to be very happy. So I'm very, very, excited and happy that which we delivered. Yes, I mean, that which we promised, that which we've been marketing over the last several months. Yes, we've had delays, but we've delivered, whereas others have shut down. And so we are excited that we are that company that you can bank on going forward. And thank you so much for being there for us and being good partners with us. Now, last week, or rather the last webinar, we did appeal to you that we've got a good brand, as you know, but every other good brand will have that consistency if a good number of ambassadors are employed. So we are relying on you, the members that have told us in the surveys that you want to continue with us in perpetuity, to be our ambassadors, to now grow with us, help us build a big brand. Because as we develop a big brand, as we develop our business, as you become good ambassadors, the effect of that is that it is you that is actually going to benefit at the end of the day, because a good brand, and in this case we have our own currency, the TEM coin, will get the intrinsic value of the TEM coin, and just about everything that we promote go northwards. And as that goes northwards, in other words, as that increases in value, that value, you're going to feel that value in terms of dividends or ROI being paid to you. So brand building, yes, we appealing to you to grow with us. Those of you that don't understand, what you need to be doing in terms of brand building, you can get in touch with us. We'll share materials with you that you can use to help us now grow the business for your own benefit. You need to look at your own interest in growing this business. And of course, there are those people who don't understand. You might know someone in your community that doesn't understand that growing the brand together in unison will actually benefit them. You need to be able to give them some kind of education. Say, hey, look, this actually is going to benefit you. Instead of you going to be destructive, it's not going to benefit you if you're destructive. You participate in the brand building so that we all can grow, we all can enjoy great dividends going forward. So, yeah, this slide is from the last presentation we made. As you know, TE Properties, we sold out completely, and we should be paying out in June. Yeah, but we do have another project that we are immediately going to be promoting once we pay out the first two that the folks had staked in December. So look out for that. You know, the next ones are going to be exciting. So I do encourage you to look out for that, because those ones are going to sell out in a very, very short period, and they're going to be paying out also very well, you know, very good dividends. And so is the TEM coin. I want to talk about the TEM coin now, in the sense that we're about to go public. Again, you know, when we started out on this journey, we were to go public many months ago, but I think it's a good thing that, you know, we are here now. You know, it's almost a year since we started the public sale, but it's a good thing. If you go to the TEM coin website, you'll find that we've created a withdraw button there. Don't go and make a withdrawal yet. You'll need to complete your KYC if you haven't done so. And you'll need to do the verification, your manual verification on that platform. And I do encourage you that you should do this before the 30th of April, because 2 weeks or 3 weeks after that, we're going to go public. Now, once you do that, it is going to enable us to send the coins to your various wallets, okay? So that as we go public, you will have had received your funds in the various wallets that you've elected. And I think the wallets we have there is MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and the Acex wallet. So you can elect one of those. And I think maybe another one might be added, but those are the three that I know that, you know, you're going to be withdrawing from. So you need to be able to do that. Now with the TEM coin, this is also another flagship project that we have. This is exciting. It's exciting that we sold close to $9.1 million in the pre-sale. As we go public, I think we're going to do well over $100 million. Of course, not in one day, but I think that's where we're going to go. As you'll notice, we have stashed away or locked away a great number of coins. I think 490 million coins have been locked away. We've only got, we're only going to have in circulation about 10 million coins. Even those 10 million coins, we might stack away a good number of them in order to keep the value of our TEM coin very strong. And so we might start with a very small amount of TEM coin. We're still consulting on that. And then we're going to be releasing that very, in very short periods. We'll be releasing more coins into the market in a very systematic way so as to control the value of the coin. That's the only reason why we're going to do so. And so those of you that, bought into our TEM coin, you might be assured that we'll do our very best not to erode the value of our currency. We'll always try and make it strong, and so that you can benefit from that. But the best way to make money from our TEM coin is to have a long-term strategy. And if you haven't bought the TEM coin up to now, or you only bought just a couple just to see what happens, I would encourage you to go onto the website, go and buy a few more coins while it's still at its lowest, because the price is going to go up as we now go public. You will remember that I'd mentioned this, and because of the strategic rollout plan that we have, we anticipate our TEM coin to go northwards. Of course, we're not in control. I give no guarantees here that it's going to go to a particular price. I don't want to say that. But what I'm trying to say is that we're going to do our best to control the price. And if you haven't bought some TIM coin, I would encourage you to buy some now while it's at its lowest price, because if we do what I think is going to happen, the value is going to grow northwards, in other words, very strong. And from there, over a long period of time, you should be able to make a lot of money from that. So let's not go into that tutorial, but many of you already understand what I'm talking about. This is the time to buy TIM coin. Don't buy TIM coin well, many months or many years in, it's like those people that are jumping into Bitcoin now. I was looking at a video a few weeks ago. The promoter was teaching people how to get into Bitcoin. Isn't it that late? It's probably late. But anyway, those people that acquired Bitcoin when it was 1-to-1 with the dollar have made a lot of money. So the principles are the same. The fundamentals are the same. And I do encourage you to consider buying the TIM coin now in the next few days. Do not hold back. You remember that I'd given you this tip to do it right. So, ladies and gentlemen, back to the brand building and the awareness campaigns that we want to do going forward to grow the Acex that is to your advantage, is that we're going to do a lot of road shows. We're going to do a lot of digital marketing campaigns, and we want you, the members that have been sincere with us, that have been promoting us, that want to grow with us going forward, to form good partnerships with us. We have so many partnership programs that we're going to roll out. The referral marketing system is just so awesome. A lot of people are going to make money there, and in fact, you can develop reliable supplemental income just from doing, referral marketing of our systems going forward. And we are going to use mainstream media. We've got 2 television shows that we are going to embark on in the next 2 weeks or so. Now, those television shows are reaching out to millions of people, and we want you, our good Global Acex members, to participate in those television shows and give us the good ratings, because the good ratings will mean a lot of revenues being generated, and that translates into good dividends being paid to you. So we encourage you to understand how things work instead of allowing the destructive people being destructive to our business. We invite you to work with us and grow the business now going forward and growing it big. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the projects that are lined up that we soon going to be opening the stakings. We have T Capital. We've also, we're going to be opening the staking soon, probably by the 30th of April. The Acex, I've already spoken about that. The liquidity pools, if you're an old TIM member, you need not worry. And if you're already verified, you'll find your account already on the system. If you're a new member, you would have to create one all over again. I think we already discussed the merchantship, and that we have well over 200 merchants that subscribe, that as the exchange goes live, we're going to invite you to a webinar so that we can have a discussion on how you can serve the clients of Acex better. The P2P or the merchant application in the Acex is just so awesome. It's well engineered, simple and straightforward to use, And I think you, the merchants, are going to make a lot of money from there. Don't forget, I've always mentioned that there is good revenues to be made from the arbitrage. You're trading with other merchants. The arbitrage aspect of it is awesome, and I think I'm going to participate in that if I'll be allowed to do so by the directors. I'm going to, because I understand the arbitrage business very well, and so is the staking on Red Planet Resources. We're going to open that soon. We want that to coincide with a number of things. And by the way, these stakings, we going to engineer them such that they actually are on blockchain, as opposed to how we did the other, the TE properties one, you know, in the pre-sale phase. These others in the public sale, they'll be on blockchain, so as, you know, to create that transparency and for you to be able to easily track your transactions, and for the efficiency in terms of managing the whole portfolio going forward. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen. We've already spoken about the T Global Payment Solution. We're actually also going to open the stakings there soon, but that also will coincide with us going public. So we do look forward to making a lot of money for you there in the stakings and these flagship projects that we have lined up for you. Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, thank you so much. That was that presentation today. We will go into a question and answer session where a few questions will be asked, and I'll attempt to answer those questions if time allows, and if the questions are within within the presentation and within the programs of TE Markets. So thank you so much. I'm sorry for that. I've got a little bit of a dry cough, but so my speech was a bit impaired today. But thank you so much. I'm sure you, you know, you picked up one or two things that are very cardinal to your understanding of where we're going from here. Mr. Mshero, how are you, sir? You've got some questions, sir.
Yes, indeed, I do. And thank you very much. Today, I think you have touched on a lot of questions that our members had put across. But certainly, there are a few that will need your attention still.
Yes, sir.
We are really glad to have you here. So the first one that comes here, most of the people have asked, can the company consider to pay all the investors, even just a portion of their ROI or dividends, so as to get life moving? Life has stopped. So can the company consider to pay all the investors, even a portion of it, so that their life can continue? Maybe you can start with that one.
Yeah, no, life must continue. Life must not stop. Life must continue. No, well, sir, and ladies and gentlemen, I just want to be, again, very clear. Dividends or ROI are actually paid from an activity that has happened in a company. The company has made a profit, and then they declare that. All right. Now, this is actually what happens, whether you are on, whether it's a company in the New York Stock Exchange or the New York Stock Exchange itself, the London Stock Exchange, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the Nairobi Stock Exchange, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, anywhere in the world, including Binance, KuCoin, whatever, we cannot be different when it comes to dividends or ROI. In other words, those companies that I've mentioned here, or the platforms or the exchanges, or what happens basically is that those companies, they have done some kind of work that has generated revenue. Now, it is that revenue that the directors of that company pay out as dividends or ROI. That's what happens. And that is what was happening in Top Earners Africa. In other words, we were working the financial markets, earning some kind of transactional fees and some kind of profit. That at the end of a particular period would then declare that and pay our members. And so that is how it happens in the traditional market, whether a company, whether it's Google, Facebook, or the New York Stock Exchange itself, or interactive brokers. Those of you that have traded with interactive brokers, they're listed on the New York Stock Exchange. That's what actually happens. These days, you even have some real estate tokenized projects. That real estate project, in other words, it has to deliver a profit. All right. It is that profit that the promoters then declare to their members so that they can go away with the earnings. It is not done in any other way. You see what I mean? So we've gone through a precarious several months where we're not generating that revenue. We were busy trying to get the platforms running and all that. And so there has been no revenue generator. So we cannot somehow from nothing start paying dividends to everybody else. The little dividends that we paid were from the little activities that have been happening on in our business. The few projects when they generate a little bit, that is, if you heard me recently, in this webinar I said we haven't paid that dividend in the last several weeks since we last met. It's because we didn't generate that. Now, we're not unique to that. Any other business out there, even in the traditional space, that is actually what happens. So now that everything is now taking motion, it's going to be running, the exchange is running, and so on and so forth. And it's not just unique to the exchange, because there's also that misconception of, okay, now we just wait. When the exchange goes live, then we're just going to go there and just withdraw dividends. It doesn't work like that. All the offerings that we have, a portion from there will be taken to be declared as dividends to the members. That is how it is going to work. And that is, the more, the activities are going to, start turning on a very slow pace, and then it will start picking up momentum. And in the end, you will see that the dividends will reach out to everybody and will be much more frequent. That's because all the activities will now have been activated and running, and then the revenue of that's what we're going to declare. So yes, there is that misconception that somehow dividends will just somehow come. No, there has to be some kind of activity. Now here we have an advantage. Before, we were a white label partnership with Top FX, of course, fantastic partnership that we had there, but it had also its limitations in terms of revenue generation and so on and so forth. This is our own platform. It is huge. I know a lot of people don't understand the difference and what is the benefit for them. This is huge because this is our own very platform and people are coming to trade there. We are a market maker, so we've created the market, and so it will give us a lot of revenue, which means you are going to have a lot of revenue going forward. You see, so you need to be able to see it from that perspective. Yes, life did slow down, but now life is going to take off. But life should not stop. Life is now going to take off big, and that frequency and that continuity, you enjoy to the point that you even forget the precarious several months that we've gone in. And, we're all now going to go back onto track and chant those good chants that we had before. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Top Coach. Two more questions. And the burning one that I got from one of our investors in Nigeria is about cards. And they're asking, it's about 2 months since we made the order for cards. Are these cards real? When are they coming?
The cards are real. I'm getting to my wallet here. I'm just gonna sort of the cards are real. I've got one here that I received recently. It's a test card. I think they sent us a few more. The cards are real. Of course, in every project, you have some kind of teething problem in terms of a delivery of the software and API keys and so on and so forth. But all that was done. Right now, we're waiting for the large batch to be delivered, and everyone will receive their card. I can assure you that. I'm saying so because I've got mine here. I can't show all that because of the numbers on the card. This is a webinar. You don't want the numbers captured by the wrong people. But the point is, the cards will be delivered to everybody, including that mechanism. We've been talking to an outsourced company. So once we finish tidying up the loose ends with them in terms of distribution, everyone's going to receive a card. So straightforward, you need not worry about that. In fact, not giving you the card is a disadvantage to our business. So we want to give you the card, especially now that the exchange is going live. As the exchange goes live, we go into, you'll definitely receive the card because it's that application that I'm talking about that is also one of the exit avenues for making withdrawals. Okay, so it is something that is burning on our heart, and it's one of our flagship projects, as a matter of fact. So it would be stupid not to even give the cards in the first place. so it's a no-brainer. We want you to have the cards. In fact, if I had it my way, I would fly to Nigeria and give you the card myself tomorrow. But let's wait. When they're delivered, you are going to receive the cards, and you would definitely enjoy it. The whole portal is already ready. Everything is running. In terms of the software and API keys, everything is running properly. We're just now waiting for the physical cards to be sent to you. But in some regions, we have to figure out on appointing a local representative who you can go and collect the cards from, because in some regions, post office doesn't work. I know for a fact in DRC, it doesn't work. So we've got a few members there asking me, so I said, we've got to figure out who the distributor is going to be there so you can go there and go and collect them. Because if we use FedEx or DHL with everybody else, it's going to be expensive because you then have to meet the other leg of the cost. So we just want to make it cost effective and efficient for everybody. So straightforward, everyone's going to receive a card. The ones that, of course, have subscribed. So if you haven't subscribed for the card, I do encourage you to subscribe for the card. And then as time goes by, we'll try and streamline and try and shorten the turnaround time. This is the very first ones that we're sending. So, of course, a few teething problems here and there, but that shouldn't discourage you. You definitely receive your card. Next question, sir.
Fantastic. Someone is, I think this one was from a customer in one of our investors in Ghana. And she was asking, she has used all the tricks in the book to keep her downlines happy. But she's getting short of words now. So she's asking tonight, what does she go and tell her downlines tonight after this meeting?
First of all, no tricks. Don't use any tricks to talk to your downline. Just tell them the truth, the way it is, the way I've presented here. As a matter of fact, this webinar will be on YouTube. So just tell them, if they've got an Android or an Apple device, they just go and play it on YouTube. They'll hear the whole message. Okay. But going forward, let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of referral marketing opportunities on the Acex that can give one very good supplemental income, or even, as a matter of fact, income that you can depend on almost as your first line of income going forward. Okay? But just a piece of advice. We're going to have all that running in the Acex. You now need to be able to choose carefully who you market these products to. Okay, as much as our spirits, our hearts want to support other people in terms of I want to share this opportunity and get somebody else to benefit, you also need to be able to select going forward who you want to share these opportunities with. Why I'm saying so is that, you see, this whole offering is in the financial markets. No one gives any guarantees what can happen in the financial markets. Not even Google or Facebook, the big ones, Alibaba, the big ones, Boeing, in America can give you a guarantee how their share price is going to look like next week. None of those. Not even Tesla can give you that guarantee. So when you now start marketing these offerings to your downline and helping us promote the brand, do not make guarantees to anyone. And also be selective on who you're going to market these products to, so that should the financial markets move this way, that way, should something happen, they say every 10 years something weird happens in the financial markets, you don't have to go and start making tricks to talk to your downline. You have a downline that already understands. So, okay, that has happened. We'll wait. Oh, we're going to make that. Okay, we'll wait. The ones that are going to be supportive, you see? So I want to encourage you doing that. And as I said in the other webinar, going forward, we're also going to do some kind of financial needs analysis when it comes to the staking, so that we're not attracting people that are going to borrow money from loan sharks to come and participate on the Acex. We cannot completely control that aspect, because some people do not exactly tell the truth as to where the source of income is. But we want to discourage that, because I found that it puts a certain group of our members in a very precarious situation should there be something that has happened in the financial markets. It's what I mean. And then now they've got a loan shark backing behind their neck. So I want to encourage you, no tricks. Don't go and tell them tricks. Tell them the way it is. That now the Acex version 2 is going to be running. It's one of the flagship projects. But that doesn't mean that's the only place the revenue is going to come from. It's going to come from a basket of projects, and they're going to distribute this. You can just tell them the way I presented here today. In any case, the webinar itself will be on Zoom. So no tricks, just tell them the way it is. And we mean what we say. And I always have these discussions with our members or staff. If in fact today we did discuss it, so just say it the way it is. Be genuine. You know what I mean? Have a clean heart, because where you made mistakes, the Lord himself will help you. So no tricks. There are no tricks. We just say it the way it is. And that's the way it's going to be. And we mean that, and we're going to deliver the best. And so the Acex is there to give you a lot of income. If you're a good network marketer, please do continue, but attend our webinars going forward, where we want to share the right strategies and point you in the right direction on how you can get the right downline and develop a nice, neat business for yourself going forward. Okay. Yes, sir.
The next question here is, we referred some of our downlines or part of our community to products of T markets. One, we never received our commissions, and how do we continue referring more customers or more investors when the existing community is already disgruntled?
Well, there are about 3 questions in that.
Yes.
Number one, the referral commissions, the system was a bit erratic. That's why we are here with Acex. If you recall, one of the reasons that we migrated from the top earner system is that, first of all, the system crashed, and 2, the referral marketing element was not well engineered. And so it wasn't functioning properly. And that's why we got here. So the Acex is the solution, as a matter of fact, because I think the one on top earners, if I recall, it only dropped referral commission, the first referral commission, I think the first month. After that, it was unable to, the software was not well engineered. So we made sure that in the Acex, this version, that aspect, that element is functioning properly. And so you should be able to enjoy that referral commission going forward. And that is the reason why, one of the reasons why we migrated. We couldn't get it properly fixed there. So here's the solution. So we've done it. You know, like I just made a comment a while ago. At least we're in business. We go and fix the problem, and we fixed it. Here it is. So now going forward, the problem solved. You need not worry. You know what I mean? Huh? So the members that you're talking about that they're disgruntled, perhaps they just didn't know that that software wasn't working properly. So you need to go back to them and say, hey, they fixed the software. Apparently the Acex is going to work. Let's go and try it. So you come and try and see if it's working. You'll see, voila, it's working properly. Problem solved. Go onto your notebook, give it a tick. Next thing, give us a congratulations that we've done it. We've actually fixed the problem. Instead of shutting down and disappearing and never coming back, you never had, no, we are here. We actually fix problems us in our business. And that is done. Okay? So the other thing is that there are some that had actually had their referral commission drop. We gave them a solution. Again, we are one of those companies that give solutions. They were able to transfer it to Temcoin and convert it there in the private sale. And many people use part of that referral commission and, the ROI to transfer to Temcoin so they can benefit. And again, I can go into the advantages of doing that. When the Temcoin starts growing, their asset value would have grown. So those who were clever that did it then, they're going to make a lot of money. Those who held back and say, I'm not going to do it, I'll punish these people, they actually just punish themselves because they missed out on that opportunity when we opened it. And now it's shut. You see, again, solution provided, go back to your notebook, give it a tick, and a congratulations because we did it. We didn't disappear like others. We're here. We solved the problem. It's what I mean. So that's what you need to do, to go back to your community and say, they say they've solved the problem. Let's go and see. When we go live, you'll go and see, actually it's there, they solved the problem. Let's give it a tick. Let's give them a congratulations. That's what you need to be doing. Yes, sir.
Great. I think we are moving on very well. Maybe just two more last questions. This one is one question in two questions in one. And one is our capital safe? That's the first question. And a question number two, and this is from Ireland actually. So the first question is our capital safe, and the second question is, if I want to opt out now, can I do it?
Yes. Let's start with the last one. Or the first one. Yes, of course, your capital is safe. I don't understand what you mean, is our capital safe? Of course, your capital is safe. If your capital is not safe, we're not going to be in business, isn't it? Your capital is safe, that's why we're in business. All right, so we're here, and we're not going anywhere. We're only going to grow. And I think by the end of this year, our business will grow to over $1 billion in value. I mean it. I'm not just saying it. I mean it. That's where we're going. So is your capital safe? Well, it depends. If you staked over $1 billion, maybe I need to ask questions. But as far as I know, our business is going to grow beyond $1 billion value this year if we continue on this momentum. Even if we don't do it by December, all right, we'll still have grown into a very big business this year. So you need to have that comfort. What was the other question, sir?
If I want to opt out of the program now, is it possible?
Yes, you can opt out as we go live on the exchange, because that's the mechanism. Like I said, you can place a limit order, exit, trade on the exchange and exit. Or you can exit through a merchant, all right? But, of course, be strategic. as we go live, there'll probably be hundreds of people doing that. So if you're a strategic person, you don't want to do it on the same day, because that is going to create a clog in the system with many exchanges. So you can space it out. You can do it. So you'll be able to exit. If that's what you're talking about. If you mean this very minute, well, we don't have the exchange live yet. You need to wait for it to go live in the next few days. And then, yes, you can do that. All right. So there will be that. And then that functionality, by the way, you've got to wait for it to be connected. Then you can do it. Not a problem. That is how it is designed. The functionality must be made to go live. I mean, the exchange must go live. That functionality, from your account connected to the exchange to be able to get you to do a limit order done. They might not be done the same day, but once that is done, you can exit. Yes, sir.
The last question is, when will the verification of TEA happen?
I'm still consulting on that, but the TEA members, most of them were verified twice before, so we don't have a problem with that. But we're actually going to open the verification for the TEA members as soon as we go live on the exchange. We just want to make sure that we weed out some rogue accounts there. But most of them were already verified twice a long time ago, but we're going to verify them again, and then they can participate. So our good TEA members, they are the original members of this, this company. We've been with them for a long time. We salute you. Thank you for being good brand ambassadors. Many of you promote our business diligently and always endorse us. We thank you. We congratulate you. I personally salute you. Thank you so much. I can mention some names here. You guys, you always promote our business. We've grown because of you guys. And I think we're going to grow into the numbers that I've been talking about in the recent days, even in this webinar, to those numbers because of people like you that always endorse us, that have been with us. You've seen us go through turbulence times before, turbulence, some kind of shake-up in the past, and it didn't worry you then. This one has not worried you, and thank you so much for trusting us and getting us to deliver, even when we've delayed, to deliver the very best. Thank you so much.
Wow. Ian, thank you very much for being there to respond to all our questions. We are very grateful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you've responded with a lot of vigor, understanding, and I think we are more well informed than we were. Ladies and gentlemen, our dear members and investors, we would like to come to the end of this webinar, and the key take home today essentially is that our Acex platform will go live this coming week, God willing. And so we welcome all of you when we get that opportunity during the demonstrations. When we call you for the next live webinar, kindly turn up so that you get to know and to see how you can interact with our own platform, and how you can be able to refer traders to come and trade within our platform. Because when you refer many, you make money, we make money, and it is a relationship that is mutually beneficial to all of us. So stay tuned. We will send various communications when that time is due, because we want to make sure that we keep you updated. We keep you informed as our investor. Sometimes do not worry when you see us taking a little bit, a few days before we send a communication. There's no worry whatsoever about that, because we have changed in the way we were communicating when information was coming from every Tom, Dick, and Harry. That does not exist anymore. Now we are structured in the way we send communications, and you can see we are being more formal. We don't want sideshows and by the side, roadside declarations like politicians. We want to keep you alerted as a business person, as an investor, so that you can work together with us, because we are here to take care of your investment and ensure that your dividends come back as promised or as the market dictates. Therefore, I want us to stop there. Until next time, I just want to say, may God bless you. May God keep you. May his face shine upon you. May God give you peace. May he protect you and watch you and give you favor in everything that you do, that your days that are ahead may be more successful, and may you prosper and be good in good health, even as we wait to meet. Till next time, God bless you. Thank you very much. And all of you have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And amen and hallelujah to that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, look out this week for some emails that we'll be sending to you. Some of them are promotional email, but look out to that. We thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in today. And look out for the next webinar. Again, it will be on YouTube next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.